What's up, guys? I am back. It is another update video. We are on day 139 of the cut. So current weight I'll go over. I believe 8 days ago, which was when I did my last update, my weight was 82.8. As of this morning, it is 81.8. So about a kilo drop in 8 days. It would be a bit more, but I think I said in the last video that my girlfriend was coming back pretty soon, so she's back now. So I had about, which was pretty good considering how long it'd been since we hadn't seen each other. And keep in mind that in the past, whenever I'd lost weight, it had happened during a period where my girlfriend was gone. Not all the time, but like when I'd lost big amounts of weight. It'd always been when she was gone, so this was kind of a test to be like, okay, she's coming back. Am I going to slip straight back into it and gain like 5 kilos? But no. All that happened was we went out for 2 days. I ate out. I tracked pretty much everything. And then 2 of those days I just said, okay, well, for one day I'm going to do a high carb day and just structure it around us eating out. And then the next day I was just like, well, okay, we had a few things left over that I bought, and I thought instead of keeping them in the fridge, I'm just going to get rid of them. So I ended up giving half of the stuff to her, and then I had a little bit. So I think for 2 days I was over my calories slightly. But all that resulted in was like a 2 kilo water weight gain, and then that slowly just dropped off. So my lowest weight was 81.4, which I think I weighed the day before she came back, and then I went up to like 83.6, and then that came down pretty quick, and a day or two later I'm back at 81.8. So I'm pretty confident tomorrow, because the last few days I've been back on point with my meal plan, tracking everything. I'm actually in the middle of prepping up another 2 days worth of chicken, broccoli, potato meals. That's the good thing about this meal plan is that, and I don't know, Lewis, if you watch this video, Crabrigus, Tom might have you on a similar plan, but the plan he gave me was pretty much just chicken, broccoli, potatoes. He said potatoes or rice, but I chose potatoes because I love potatoes. Chicken, broccoli, potatoes twice a day, and then the breakfast is just oats with eggs. So that's not something I need to prep. I just come home from my work break and cook it up and then eat that at about 10. So usually I have my first meal at 10. And then, so that's just, oats, eggs, and then I put some Nando sauce and some sugar-free sauce and berries, mixed berries. Really easy to prep. And then the chicken, broccoli, potato meal, which I usually prep in advance, so I already have it in Tupperware containers. And then after that, it's usually protein shake, which is obviously you just make that every day. It takes like literally 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes, it probably takes like a minute. And then after that, it's another chicken, broccoli, potato, and then Tom has it in his thing where it's yogurt, berries, and dark chocolate. But dark chocolate is so expensive here, so I don't get that. And lately, I've just been keeping the yogurt berries thing as just free calories, and I'll usually just try to fill up the macros that Tom's given me with just something that I've chosen. It's usually it's always whole foods. Like, I've pretty much completely cut any processed shit out of my diet. Even when I eat out, even when I have my off-plan day, it's always sushi, or it's like a burger, something with meat. It's never Macca's. It's never anything that's ultra processed. If I go to a place, it's like a proper bistro or takeaway where it's just real food. So it's easier to track. Even if it's more calorically dense, I'd rather have something that's more calorically dense, but it's just a bunch of sushi, or, a nice steak, or a nice cut of chicken, whatever it is. I just prefer to have that, a nice sandwich, like a nice Italian proper deli style sandwich. But yeah, when I eat it, I've completely cut all the processed shit out. I don't get Macca's, I don't get KFC, I don't get any snacks from the shops. I just eat fruit for snacks pretty much. Um, and that's it. And I don't really miss it. I always thought I would. Like, even with my girlfriend, when I said, okay, I'll give myself these 2 days, I didn't even feel the need to go get like junk from the shops. It was just, oh, I'd love to get like a nice cake, like a nice cheesecake. And I'd like to get this sushi. And, oh, I wouldn't mind trying that like piece of chicken there. That looks like it's cooked really well. Like, it doesn't look too great. Like, it was all calorically higher but tasty foods, which is what you should be, I think, focusing on, especially once you get out of the diet and you reverse. Which leads me into what I've been doing recently, which is I've been looking at, because I'm pretty close to my goal. Now, Tom said to me he estimated my body fat at 25% at 95 kilos. So he said, I think the number was about 78 point something kilos that would be me at 10%. Right now I'm obviously 81.8, so I'm about 3 kilos off that number, I would estimate. So if we look at it at a kilo a week, in about 3 weeks I'll be 10%, which will be, what are we in now, 16th? Yeah, that'll be about the middle of March, or close to the middle of March. But I think I'll lose it a bit quicker, to be honest with you. I don't want to be too cocky, but I think I could hit 78 by like 10th of March, but we'll see. Either way, I think once I get below 80, I'm going to book the DEXA scan in and then see where we're at, which will be exciting. It's coming up soon. It's getting exciting. But what I'm really looking forward to is the reverse diet phase. I'm very looking forward to that, to going back up to my maintenance, because I've been at... Luckily for me, I haven't really had to drop my calories too much or increase my cardio beyond the 20 minutes, because my steps are so high due to work. They're usually like 25 to 30,000. So, I still do the cardio, and Tom even said on some days that I do those high steps, just don't do the cardio. I still do. Like today, I'll probably get some cardio in, maybe after my meal, which is pretty rare for me to do late night cardio, but I went for an extra walk around the beach. I mean, that could be considered cardio, because I did 25,000 steps and went for a walk around the beach with the missus. But I'll probably still at least get down to the gym and do, 15, 20 minutes on the elliptical. Because I'm really close now, so I just want to drive the fat loss as high as I can, and I can handle it. Like, I'm pretty far along on this cut now. I've had to force myself to do a lot of things that I haven't wanted to do initially, but it's got me results. So now it's like not even a question when I do, like, I don't even look at it like, oh, I have to do more cardio. It's like, good, like, I'm pumped to do that, because now I'm getting closer. I can see I don't want to say the end, because this isn't the end of the transformation, but I can see the next path, and I think that'll be a good path. Because, yeah, as I said, I've been on 2,400 calories for the past, at least 2.5, 3 months. Probably at least 2.5 or 3 months, because I started at 2,700 for the first 6 weeks and then transitioned out. So, yeah, about 3 months probably now, or by March it'll be 3 months. So let's say 3 months on 2,400, and now it's getting to the point where, yeah, I got some pretty nasty hunger pains yesterday, where I thought I couldn't sleep, but I just had a little J and that helped. So fell asleep, everything was fine. Today the hunger was there in the morning, but once I ate, I felt like, okay, that's it. Like, I've got enough now to get me through. And I just had my chicken and broccoli meal about an hour ago, so I'll probably have my next one in about another hour, something like that. And yeah, but now that I'm so close with the reverse diet, which is what I wanted to get into, and I might end the video on this, keep it a bit of a quicker video. But now that the reverse diet is in sight, I've started to think, okay, my maintenance would probably be around 2,900 to 3,000, I think. So once I get to that point, it's like I don't obviously want to be eating chicken, broccoli, and potato all the time, really at all. I still like potato, I still like chicken. I still will eat those things, but not together and not in the way I've been having it, which has been very plain. I've just been cooking it up, seasoning it a bit, but then just chucking it all in the air fryer to heat it up and just having it all mixed together on a plate with some hot sauce. It's just like, it's just fuel. And it's been working great for what I want. But obviously, the goal is not to live like that the whole time. The goal is to reverse out and sustain your physique while eating a good amount of food and also keeping that food healthy, but, you know, like sustainable as well. And you also want to be able to have good food and save money, and not when you want to eat out or you want to have something like a cheat meal. I've actually just been cooking my cheat meals at home a lot more. Like me and my girlfriend, I've been watching this guy on YouTube. I think he's called Exercise for Cheat Meals, and he like tests all these different meals that look unhealthy, but he breaks down the macros, and he's pretty like meticulous about the macros. And the macros are pretty fucking awesome, to be honest, on some of these meals. Like we're talking like 80 grams protein, 15 grams of fat or something like this, 20 grams of fat, and 50 grams of carbs. And they're all with pretty, it's all whole food. There's no junk in this. And what little junk there is outweighed by how big the portion sizes are, how intuitive the cooking methods are. Like he air fries a lot of stuff. He doesn't use a lot of oil and shit. He tries to keep the fat content as low as possible. But anyway, he made this video on a protein cheesecake. And if you know me, you know I love cheesecake. Like cheesecake has to be... Cheesecake is right up there with like pizzas and subs for me in terms of like when I want to get like fast food and sushi. But for me, I just really am a fan of a good cheesecake, especially a Basque cheesecake, which is what this one was. So he had a video for a Basque protein cheesecake, literally about, I don't know, this big for a slice, maybe that. So a slice about that size, I don't know if you can see probably, but the slice about that size was 290 calories, like 20 grams of protein, like 12 grams of fat or 11 grams of fat, and I don't know, 20 grams of carbs or something. But it was way bigger and way better calorie wise compared to the cheesecakes, for example, I could buy from my local shop. And not to mention, if you wanted to get a cheesecake of this size from a proper place, you'd be looking at paying $15. When you make this recipe, it works out to $4 a slice. So we made the cheesecake and it turned out let me tell you, fantastic. And it was cheap. We could make another 2 batches and we spent about probably $25-30 Australian total. So worth it too, good protein metrics. If you feel like something's, and I'm looking at all these, so I just did that recipe to try it out. We're gonna give some of the cheesecake to my mum and my brother when I go down to visit them. And then obviously we'll keep some for us, but I only had one piece when I was having the high carb days. Other than that, I haven't touched it. I know that my Thursday is my off day, so if I want to have it, then I'll have it then. But it's really good, and it's there's erythritol in it. There's no really bad ingredients. It's all pretty simple, whole food ingredients. Just 2% milk, some cream cheese, light cream cheese. I couldn't get fat free, and cottage cheese, low fat cottage cheese. High protein. All this was high protein, whey powder with flour for the base, and it tastes awesome. So I don't know if anyone's watching this, look this guy up on YouTube. If you're looking at being in a reverse diet or you're close, because he has a bunch of different really good recipes, for sloppy joes, all this stuff that's really simple. Buffalo chicken dip, it's all pretty good macros. You could include it in one meal in your plan when you're in a reverse diet. I would say you can only start doing this kind of stuff when you get lean, really lean, below 15%, between the 10 to 12% range, and when you're obviously reverse dieting and you can have more calories. So that's what I plan on doing. I plan on making some of these recipes and then incorporating that into a normal diet where I'll probably have some, because I haven't been having much red meat, which has been a mistake on my part. So I want to have some more red meat. I want to have some different cuts of chicken, like some chicken thigh. And obviously I'll still be tracking, but I've gotten to the point now where I can pretty much track in my head now. If I really, I'm not doing it now because I have the goal. But when I reverse diet out, once I get a bit more capable with how I am with my calorie tracking and my just overall willpower, which I think is way, way, way better than it was before. I think honestly now I can feasibly stick to something like start incorporating some of those recipes and be fine. I'm not going to fall off the wagon. I'm too into it now. Like, it's done too much for me. Yeah, but anyway, that was just a little something I wanted to share, those recipes. So like I said, I think he's called Exercise 4 with the letter 4, cheat meals. And yeah, great videos, great recipes. So if you're in a reverse diet, you lean, and now you're just increasing calories and you want to like switch up your diet a bit, add some, fun things that you can also cook, because I just love cooking in general. So I love to be able to know that I can make all these foods that might cost you $20-30, because I used to be, not too long ago, 4 months ago really, one of the people that would just be okay with ordering out all the time and just buying this shit that I know in my head I could probably cook, but it's like I don't have the energy. But like now it's like all I have is energy. Especially when I start doing something, like even if it's something I don't want to do, now I know what the results are of me doing the hard things that I don't want to do, because I'm seeing them firsthand with how my body's changing. So it's just motivating me more with other areas of my life, things I don't want to do or might think are hard. I'm like, no, well, I'm going to do this thing. There's something good at the end of it. So, in regards to like cooking stuff now, where I might have seen that as difficult to get started, now I'm excited to actually try to do more of that and just be able to be more capable and confident when it comes to calories and the knowledge of that. And like I said, getting to the point where you can kind of just look at something and go, that's roughly about 550 calories, and maybe you're off by 20 to 30 calories. But if you can do that, that's a superpower, because you can track a 2,900 calorie day in your head. Or if you're cutting, you can know the exact meals that you ate when you're on a certain amount of calories, so you just replicate that. Like, you have all this knowledge that you've built up through doing those hard actions. You're not going to have this if you don't do that. So that's why I'm really an advocate now for doing those hard things, because, I mean, like, David Goggins says it all the time, like, do the hard shit. But it's true. It's true. It's just sometimes people look at the way he says it and they think it's abrasive, but it's like, he's speaking the truth. This is coming from his soul, because he knows in his head, like all of us do when you get on this path, like, it's through doing those hard things that you get the results. And you also gain confidence, you gain mastery over something, yourself, your own body. You slowly gain just more confidence in general, and that just translates into everything. So with that being said, that's why I'm looking at these recipes now and going, okay, preparing for when I do reverse diet out, because realistically I could be on a reverse diet within 2 months, or within a month and a half even, possibly even within a month, but let's say a month and a half. So I'm just looking at this going, okay, well, yeah, I could have this on this days, and obviously my output's still going to be high, so I'm not really worried about things in that sense. And I'm just really looking forward to that. Not because the cut's necessarily hard, like I could do this for another 3-4 months if I needed to, but I don't need to, which is a good thing. But yeah, like I said, now it's getting to the point where, yeah, the hunger's coming in. Like, I'm leaning out pretty well. I'm getting the veins coming in and things like this that they say happens when you're in the 13 or 12% or whatever range. And I'm at about 81, so if I was 78 at 10, I'd say at 81 I might be 13. At 80 I'll definitely be 12, and when I get to 79 it'll be 11 to 10. So I know for sure once I get to like 78 on the dot, or 77, like below 78, I will be at 10%, or I should be theoretically. Unless I'm hiding fat somewhere I don't know about. ass or something. But yeah, I won't lie, I'm a little nervous to get the DEXA scan when it does get to that point, because it's like, what happens if I think I'm at this percentage that I've worked so hard to get to, and then they're like, oh no, you're actually still at like 15. I'll be like, what the fuck? How am I must just have crazy muscle mass then, because yeah, I definitely don't feel like I'm 15%, but I definitely know I'm not 10, but I'm somewhere in that 10 to 13% range, I feel like. So we're getting really close. But other than that, I should get going, because I have to go and put in my girlfriend has actually started to want to track some of her calories as well. So I made up a meal plan for her pretty quick. I also did one for my mom. And so she's kind of loosely, I'd say 80% following it. But she has been having for dinner the past few nights just steak and like my potatoes that I cook for my meal prep. I just make a big box of them every 3 to 4 days, like a 2 kilo box, and season it all. So she's been taking some potatoes out of that and then mixing it with her raw oyster blade steak that she's chopped up, which is about 160 grams of that and about 150 or 200 grams of potatoes, depending on her calories or her carb intake. So I always suggest having more carbs to her, because I want her to feel more full. She doesn't eat enough. So yeah, I've got to go put that in the air fryer and get that started up for her, because she'll get back from her pole dancing class soon, and I'll probably just chill for the rest of the night. I've got one more meal of my potato and chicken and broccoli, but I don't have any broccoli, so it's just chicken and potato, and I don't know. Maybe I'll fill the 30 calories up with like fruit or some more grapes. Been really into grapes lately. That's what I'll end the video on. That I've been really into grapes lately. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Everything's going good. Like I said, 81.8. In terms of these videos, that's a new low. In terms of me personally, 81.4 has been my lowest. But I'm pretty confident either tomorrow or maybe the next day, I'll be at that or below that. And then we'll get in the 80 kilo range, and that's when stuff gets fun. Well, actually, when stuff gets fun is when we're 79. It's coming soon. I can feel it. It's coming soon. But anyway, I'm going to get going, and I will catch you guys in the next update, which could be tomorrow, could be a couple of days from now. Who knows? You will see me soon, though. Either way, peace out. Enjoy your life. Keep right. Eat rice. Peace.